Hi y'all. Alright, so we're here for day 2 of the Holiday Reset Challenge. Yesterday was day 1 and we talked about how important it is to have a high protein breakfast, and if you can prep it ahead, it's going to be a no-brainer. You don't have to think, you don't have to stress, you don't have to do anything except know that your breakfast is either ready to eat or mostly ready to eat, in case you do like and that you already something where you have to heat it up, like the breakfast scramble if you want to make it into breakfast tacos or bowls, or if you've made like baked oatmeal and you want to heat it up, and then your intent for the holiday season. I have a PDF, or just a one sheet paper thing that I made today, but my hubby is my tech person because I need one, and he just got home, but I'm going to need his help to make sure I link it properly. And so there will be that, and then I plan on making one. None of these are necessary. They're just here as a little help if you need it, because you could use just a spiral where you can write down like your breakfast ideas, swap ideas, and treats and desserts and things like that, because sometimes you just need to see it and to get an inspiration. So I want to talk real quick on the power of no, real fast. This video should be pretty quick compared to yesterday's. I cannot believe how long that one was. So I don't know if you have found the same thing, but when I say no to something, that first initial no, like the first time I said no to a donut, which probably sounds so stupid, but I love donuts. It wasn't easy. It was pretty hard, but the more I said no to things, the easier it got. So I can walk by Little Debbie's. I was addicted to sugar of all forms, and like Little Debbie's in the store. I love Little Debbie's, and it was not easy in the beginning to walk by all those things I was so used to eating. The candy bars, I love Mounds. I love, that's probably my favorite one, but it was hard in the beginning to say no. So I just want to encourage you. So once you say no, it typically gets easier. I will say always, but it typically gets easier to say no as you say no more often. So practice if you have a hard time saying no when it comes to holiday treats, whether it's in the office, it's with friends, and activities you do. Like I said, well, I don't know if I said it on here, maybe it's for my monthly group. I went to a Bible study and sat down, and in front of me was a Reese's and then a little Kit Kat, and I immediately picked them up and put them away so I would not be tempted, because I'm not going to say I'm not ever tempted to eat these things, because I am, but it's much easier the longer and the more often that I've done it. Okay, so today we're going to really talk more about getting ahead of the holiday cravings, having a plan. When we are prepared, it's easier to stay on plan. So again, let's go back to the breakfast. It's much easier to stay on plan when we have things either grab and go, a plan at the minimum. That is one of my biggest tips. If you at least have a plan, and then even better is when you have things prepared, whether it's in the freezer, it's in the pantry, it's in your fridge, or it sits on the counter, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. So we need to have smart snack swaps. So for example, chips. Chips are a big deal. I love chips, but I always enjoy that little crunchy, I don't know, side to something or whatever. And so I have found that the Mission tortilla chips, when microwaved, crisp up much better than I'll have the Extreme Wellness. I've had both of those, and I've tried the Extreme Wellness in the microwave, and they do not seem to get crisp like these guys. And you can also air fry and bake, although I'm not turning my oven on right now because it's way too hot. And then I love these. If you want more of a corn tortilla, you can air fry. I don't think I've ever microwaved these, and I've also baked these. And these are just a little 25-calorie ones from Mission, and same company, I guess. Mission. These do really good, and I really love these for like tostadas or corn chips. I'm sure you could fry these if you wanted to fry them. And again, these are not as close to a corn tortilla as these guys are, but they are still a great option. And this is I think it's 25 calories each, and this one is, I think it's 110 calories per 4. You can get 4 per serving on this one. I just had some of these earlier. I love, these are just plain. Now, obviously, if you don't eat pork, you would not eat pork rinds, but I enjoy these. And I've seen where people have taken the plain pork rinds and made like puppy chow with them. Thought about trying that, but this one I would not do because this is sea salt and cracked pepper. That might be a kind of a weird sweet treat. Another thing to think about is if you do like doing a lot of like hand to mouth, like snacking type thing, popcorn is a great option. I do like to take a little spray and spray the popcorn and then add some hot sauce and then some nutritional yeast. Another thing I thought about today that might be interesting, because I also have always loved, again, sweet, I just love sugar, is using like, I have a hot chocolate mix that I've never uploaded, but maybe spraying that and then shaking in some hot chocolate mix and give it more of a chocolatey flavor. I haven't tried that. It's just an idea that came to me today. Having things on hand, like if you like savory things, make sure you have savory ideas on plan. Another idea that I've never done, because I'm really weird with cheese, is take the thin cheese slices and you can make chips out of those, and pepperoni make chips as well. Those are great options. But thinking ahead to what you like and what's going to help you kind of stay on plan. And again, this doesn't have to be Trim Healthy Mama. It can be any plan you want. My friend's husband who's doing keto. If you are doing a carnivore, that's a whole different game. But I'm sure you wouldn't watch me if you were carnivore. But having ideas for on plan snacks and swaps that you can do. One of my very most popular, if I could speak for English, videos are my chicken chips. And all it is, guys, is ground chicken, whatever seasoning you want. You put it out as thin as possible on parchment paper. You bake it, you flip it, you bake it. And sometimes, actually I'm not perfect when I make these, there are edges that are crispier before others, so I just break those off and keep baking the parts that aren't quite as thin. And that is an excellent, almost fat-free, high-protein chip that can go with so many other things. And you can also make your own jerky if you're a jerky kind of person, or buy jerky, whatever you want. I love nuts. Nuts are a great option. You just have to be careful on some things if you don't want to overdo the calories. Now, I have wrote down some crackers. You have your Wassa crackers, which to me, they're okay. They're not terrible. They're not my go-to, but I do try to keep them on hand just in case I want them. Mary's Gone crackers are great. I have not tried these. I have not seen these, but there's a sourdough cracker by Einkorn sourdough crackers, pepperoni chips. Another thing I did during COVID, because if you ate like I do during COVID, when you went to the grocery store, a lot of your stuff was still there, and they had the little mini Joseph's pitas. And I made those, air fried those, and they were excellent little crackers. They were so perfect. I put them with my soups and everything like that. Okay, so I want to talk real quick, one little phrase about mindset. It's not about restricting, it's about replacing. Don't think of this as restriction, unless you just want to, eat whatever you want for the holidays and then get back on it January 1st, although I would never, ever recommend that for anyone. Hi, Nike girl. But it's not about restricting, it's about replacing. So find the things that you know you want, the things that you will eat during the holidays, but find a way to swap it with something that, again, I'm not going to say that this is as good as, say, I don't know, a Lay's chip, because it's not. But is it good enough for me to replace it with for things? Yes, I have eaten these with queso, bean dip, my high protein rotel dip. I've used these, and I've used these. Prep snacks or desserts, or at least have options that are on hand. Okay, so I've put a list of desserts with this. If you are a dessert person like me, then having on-plan options is going to be key. It is going to be so important. And if you have desserts, means just whatever it is that you would like for me to find some replacements for you, feel free to ask me. Although I may not be able to find it exactly what you want, but I would love to look for you to help you find something, because I want all of us women, and I'm sure there are a couple of men I'm not anti-man, which I've had said to me before, which is so silly. But I really talk to women. I don't want us to get through this holiday season and look back with just regret and like a 10-pound weight gain or something like that. I want us to get on the other side happy with the effort that we put in. So one of the easiest things you can do is, you don't even have to melt it, but you can just mix together goji berries, sugar-free, reduced sugar, whatever you want, cranberries, make those your own, with some nuts and some on-plan chocolate. If you want to go the extra step further, then you just make what I call the easiest candy in the world, and that's just where you melt the chocolate and then you mix up the nuts and the berries, and then you drop it on parchment paper. Super easy. Takes hardly any effort to do that. If you need to lighten things up, this is where I would look at doing like the cheesecake fluff. I have a Fuel Pool pumpkin pie whip. All you need is some cottage cheese, a little sweetener, and some frozen berries or something like that. And you have got a very light but high protein and nice sweet treat. I have Twix recipes. I do not have, one of my clients is going to make the Brianna finger. I don't know how to say that exactly. And I think the Twix to keep on hand so that she has the stuff that she needs in her freezer. All I want you to, I would love for you just to think ahead to your desserts. That is it. Like, just think ahead to your desserts. Make sure your mindset is not on, I can't have this, I can't have that. You can have whatever you want. I will most likely have a few things throughout the holiday season that are going to be off plan. I am not the person that has a taste of something off plan and then goes downhill. If that is you, then we really need you. I need to help you find a way to find the things that will help you stay completely on plan so that you don't go down that that hill, I don't know what to call it. Because I know that there are ladies like that. So find whatever your flavors are. Like, I know that like Pearl is a lemon girl. I like lemon, but it's not my jam all the time. But I would love to help you if you have some questions. I'll help you find some ideas to stop the crazy cravings. Anyway, if you like peanut butter and chocolate, I think I was looking at my peanut butter bar recipe today. I feel like if we took the peanut butter part and made it into balls and then dipped it into chocolate, it'd be like a Buckeyes, if you're a Buckeyes kind of person. And I do think that if you are an ice cream type person, my glasses just keep falling, I'm sweating in here. If you are an ice cream type person, then Ninja Creamy is excellent if you have one. They're expensive. I got mine for Christmas 2 years ago. My husband bought it for me. I think he bought it refurbished, so it was a little bit cheaper. But a Ninja Creamy is excellent because all you need is like a little protein powder, a little xanthan gum, and milk, and you have a Fuel Pool ice cream that you can flavor it however you want. I have some mint chocolate chip protein powder that I really think would make an excellent ice cream. But if not, get the Breyers reduced sugar, I don't know what it's called, ice cream, and keep that in your freezer, but stick to the serving size or even less. I have to be very, very careful with that stuff. It is not my friend. But my friend loves the low carb, I think it's Breyers vanilla ice cream. Then she keeps that in her freezer, and it really is, when she just needs something sweet, that's perfect. You could melt a little chocolate and put in there. Anyway, I just want you, my challenge today is, first, make sure your mindset is right. Remember, it is not about restricting. I'm going to read my words so I can say it right. Where is it? It's not about restricting, it's about replacing. And think ahead to the desserts that are a really big deal for you. And make a list of those. Again, I'm going to work on getting that PDF as soon as my husband gets out for me. And write down what you want to have for the holiday season. And then start now looking for recipes. If I don't have it, again, don't just use whatever recipes you want. This is not about my recipes. Use the recipe that you know that you love, or start looking around and trying some things now. My tips for sweeteners, I'm really weird with the sweeteners. I do not like that cooling effect. If I'm having chocolate or if I'm having, I don't know, pumpkin, something, and I breathe in and my mouth has that cooling effect, it is very bothersome to me. So my biggest thing would be, I love brown swerve, and recipes that use brown swerve typically don't have as much, at least for me, and allulose. Those are my two big sweeteners that I would use during more of the holiday season. And allulose, in my opinion, is one of the best sweeteners. because again, I'm so picky. I do not like that cooling effect at all. I would love to hear what you want to make this holiday season, what your favorite family treats are. Again, I mentioned yesterday, I was at my grandmother's today, and I was talking about this challenge I'm doing. And I know she doesn't understand. She's 92. She doesn't really understand Facebook and all of that. But she said, is pecan pie sugar-free? And I said, I have pecan pie squares on my blog. She goes, is 4-layer dessert sugar-free? And I said, no, but I will make it this Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I will have a small bite of my grandmother's 4-layer dessert. It is something that I have grown up with a tradition that she's always made it. So that's kind of my thought on this. I will have a few things. I already plan to have a couple of things, but I'm not going to go crazy this holiday season just because I know where I want to be by the time January 1st gets here, and I don't want to look back with nothing but regrets. Again, I would love to hear what you want to make this holiday season. What some of your family favorites that you swap and make more on plan. Again, sometimes it doesn't have to be 100% on plan, but reducing some of the inflammation causing food items and things like that can make a huge difference. That is it. I hope you're having a great week. Bye.